What's going on, sixth graders? I wanted to do a little more Spartan Warrior history for you, just for fun. Some of you guys put Leonidas as your favorite character in your report this week, the essay that you guys are writing. And he was a Spartan king, sacrificed his life defending Greece. And that was a key, action or sacrifice to unite the nation against the Persians in the Persian Wars. So the Spartans are known, like we did our little training video. I hope you guys saw that last week. I think it was probably Thursday last week or Friday that I posted it. If you didn't see that, go back and lesson plan last week and look for the Spartan training video that I posted. That was just kind of fun too, talking about Spartans and how unusual they were. They were so different. It was their discipline. It was their commitment to battle and to being warriors. So one of the things the Spartans did, and the main thing I want to talk to you guys about today, is called the phalanx. In battle, they would use a battle formation where they would unite together as one unit, and with their shields, they would lock. They would lock shields, shield to shield. Not actually lock them in, but connect them like this, okay? So when an enemy was attacking, they would see, and they would have shields above also and below. They would all be locked in together. And what the enemy would see would be, I'm just raising that up from Bible class, just a shield. It was called a shield wall. They would have a shield wall, and as the enemy comes in, they would just smash against these shields, crash against these shields. Now, once the enemy came and he was stopped from attacking them, from rushing them with the shield, then they would get their spears. And I really wanted to show you guys this. I actually got this to complete the Spartan armor this week. It actually came yesterday. This is a spear. This is a real spear. This is a boar spear. But the Spartan spears would be like this. They would have the metal spearhead on one side, extremely sharp. It would just cut through. This is a real spear. It's scary, man. And so as the enemy comes in, they would also, this one doesn't have it, but the Spartans would also have another spike on the other side so they can use both sides. But as they lock shields, they're protecting the man next to them on their left side, and then on their right, the next soldier's shield is there. Well, they would do this. They block the enemy with the shield, and as the enemy comes in, now they're shooting next to their shields or out through their shields, and they cracks through these shields, these spears, and they're destroying their enemies. They can do it down below like this, like that, or they're going like this. Like as they come in, they're attacking and striking out. And so what it was called, the phalanx, was the shield wall, and they would use these spears. They'd be perfect to strike their enemies as they came in, as they came up, and it would be almost like a porcupine, or it's been called like a hedgehog. The shield wall is like, it makes the Spartan army like a porcupine or a hedgehog, because when the enemy comes in to try to touch him, to attack them, they're blocked, and then these spikes come out and destroy them. And it works so well because they were a unit. They worked together, and that's another really good example for us. They were so tough, and they would just block their enemies. They would lock shields and work together. And as Christians, that's what we're supposed to do. Lock our shields and work together. We shouldn't be alone in this battle. Now, sometimes they would get blocked up or separated, and so they didn't only have the shield and the spear, but they had their sword. So they would have the sword in the sheath, and then when they lost their shield, or sometimes they would throw their shield like a javelin. Then they would still have another weapon to go out and fight with, and maybe get their shield, get their spear back, or just fight and be defended with the weapon still, their sword. And they would have these awesome swords that they fought with. So the Spartans were amazing. When we talk about Thermopylae, where the 300 Spartans with along with 7,000 other Greeks, fought. I actually got this shirt at Thermopylae when we went there. And Thermopylae was a space almost like the width of our classroom here. It was like 45 feet at the skinniest point, where there was a cliff on one side leading up a mountain that couldn't be climbed and by an army. And then they also, on the other side, was a cliff going down to water, just like this, ocean and water. So there was a spot where they basically built a wall. They built up a wall of, rocks, and they actually used Persian army bodies to hold these rocks together. They built a wall, and then they led them into that narrow area called the Hot Gates, and that's what you had between. So when they did that, they were all protecting each other, and then on the right side, where the last guy would be vulnerable to someone coming and attacking, well, there was a cliff, and then they pushed the Persians off into the water. Okay, so you've seen this Spartan helmet. This is a Corinthian helmet style. So it's protecting your head. They're very protected. They're highly armored, just strong. They have this plume, this horsehair plume on the top, which just makes them fearsome. They had long hair usually. When the Persians came and spied on them before the battle, before they engaged at Thermopylae, the Spartans were just sitting there, and they were just combing their hair. I guess that's the original man bun. And the last thing I wanted to show you guys today about these things, about the Spartans, was they wore this crimson or the scarlet colored cloak into battle. Cloak is warm. It keeps you warm at night. It it just protects you in different ways. But it would be crimson or the scarlet color, so that the enemy couldn't see them bleed. You couldn't see the blood stains or anything like that, because it was all crimson red. So they were so tough, gritty, enduring. They did have a lot of wisdom. They had high standards for their discipline, for their morality, and their own kind of code. They kept a code. It wasn't the biblical code, but they kept their own code, and they were just so tough, man. They were so strong. They're such warriors. So that's what I have for you guys today from the Spartans. And let's learn. Let's learn from history how to stand up and be different. This right here says Malone Lave. And that's actually Miranda put that in her report, because it was Leonidas who said that when the Persians came to attack the Spartans, they said, "Spartans, lay down your weapons." And the Spartans replied, Leonidas replied, "Come and get them." Tough. All right, love you guys. Talk to you later. Have a good week.